All right, we are live. If you don't mind, just clap sync with me real quick. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Sorry, can you just do one more? The first two, I don't know if it registered on my end.
Got
Just
it.
on
Yeah.
your end.
Your gain is a little high too, just so you know. So I might pull that down a bit.
All right, thank you for the heads up. How's that? A bit better?
Way better, way better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Off the Mark. Today, I'm with my good friend Alethea, who is also my voice coach. So I thought I'd bring her on. We've known each other for a minute. Actually, how we met was kind of a funny story. You remember how we met?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was. We met. I was out with friends at this club called Grandmaster Records, and was it Ryan's birthday that was
Jennifer
happening that night?
Smith, my
Jennifer
friend.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was out on a completely different event, and I was tearing it up on the dance floor as I do. And Alethea came up to me and was like, "I like your energy. You should come to my concert." And I ended up getting connected with her friend Ryan while there. And then, like 4 months later, I got a text from a number I don't know and inviting me to a party. And I'm like, who is this? Oh, wait, it's that guy. And I ended up falling into the Honeypot crew, which is it was originally like a networking thing for like music supervisors and producers to network with each other, right?
Yeah, and artists and anyone in the sync and licensing industry. So
Right. Yeah. And you're part of that scene. And we ended up connecting there. And when the wildfires were going on, we reconnected because you had a lot of clients, right, that were affected by the
yeah,
fires.
yeah,
Yeah. It was right up the street from me. So it's the same area. We both love Altadena.
yes. We
Um,
love Altadena. And Mark went hard to help the people there too. He volunteered and did a lot of organizing, which was really cool.
I did what I could.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. But yeah, and then you asked you needed a headshot photographer, and I apparently I do headshots, and we ended up linking up, and then we started working together on voice coaching, and yeah, the rest is history. So I just wanted to bring you on. I do this. Big part of this podcast is to talk to not only friends of mine but people in the LA scene that are putting stuff together and making things happen. So I guess can you give us a little background on who you are and what you do? I know we talked a little bit about being a musician and a voice coach.
Yeah, so well, that's the biggest two right now. I'm a singer-songwriter and a music teacher. So I have a music teaching business, Fresh Start Music, which is for all ages, 5 to 90 plus. And Mark falls right in there. Towards the younger side, but not close to 5. But yeah, so I do that. I started acting. I'm very new to it, so I can't really claim a lot with it. And then I'm a politics major, so I try to make sure everything I do has an aspect of social change. So I organize benefit concerts. So the next big push is for Portland Immigration Committee, Pergo. So let me get the exact name here. And we're going to do a benefit concert for them.
If you send me the info
Portland
that I can edit
Immigration
in.
Rights Coalition. Yeah, they're really, really great. So they help families that are affected by ICE. So that's the next big project I'm working on.
Oh, cool. I didn't know you had a politics background. You said you had a major? You was your major?
Yeah, I majored in politics, and I'm looking to go back to school potentially for ethnomusicology, which combines culture and politics with music. So, yeah, politics.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of ethnomusicology. Is that a new field, or has that been
Yeah,
around for a
they're doing a
minute?
lot of new fields where they're combining different topics. So there's ethnobiology, ethnomusicology, pyrogeography. There's just a lot of things out there right now.
Pyrogeography,
Yeah, that's
the study of fire and
it.
locations, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the historical. Let me get you the exact definition here. It's pretty complicated. It's the interdisciplinary study of fire, examining its relationship with the ecological, physical, and human systems across Earth's history and to the present day. So it's everything, basically.
That's well. How did you get into music from the whole political background? Like, was it something that you started with before you got into your political study, or was it simultaneous? What's your journey in music?
So I've always written songs since I was little. I actually wrote a musical in high school, which I was really proud of. And I started studying music in high school, but I actually went into school for astrophysics, and then
Okay,
right.
there's so much I'm learning about you
I
now.
know. Yeah, it was not the right field for me at that particular school. So their strongest one of their strongest programs, they have many strong programs, was politics. So they told me to do politics because it was the study of everything. And so I decided to do that. But senior year of college, I almost wanted to quit because I just wanted to be a singer-songwriter. So I spent all my free time writing songs, which reflected poorly in my studies. But yeah, so it did kind of start simultaneously. But I think in college, I actually decided I wanted to do it when I was studying abroad. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, the rest is history for that.
Where were you studying abroad?
Germany in Freiburg. So I wrote my first like singer songwriter song in a tunnel, which was really fun. The acoustics are really cool.
Wait, you
So
recorded it in like a
a
hiking
tunnel
tunnel?
In Freiburg, just a tunnel, like a pedestrian tunnel, but on my phone. But it was cool.
Is that song public anywhere?
That's
I'd love to
Butterflies,
listen to that.
actually. That's Butterflies. That was my
That's the
first.
butterflies. Okay. Oh,
Butterflies was my first song that I wrote, actually.
oh, really? That was yeah,
The one,
I was
yeah, the
listening.
one you hear is
Yeah.
produced fully, not in the tunnel, but that was the
Yes.
beginning of it. Yeah.
I
So
listened to that yesterday. I really that like I said, I was telling you, sent in my notes. That's my favorite song on that album you got on there for the light at the end of the road. Is the light at the
yeah,
end of the road a reference to the tunnel?
um, maybe subconsciously. I don't think I actually consciously knew, but I think you're right. I think subconsciously. It was also a dark time. I think it was during um the economic recession. There was an economic recession happening. It was before COVID though. Um, but yeah, it was my first record. So I'm working on my second one now. But yeah, it was a struggle because I was basically a full-time artist in New York and very, very poor and really struggling. And that was kind of what sparked it too. And it was fully crowdfunded. So that was the only way I was able to make it.
Oh, so you have or you were able to build that fan base and have it uh people making it happen. How did
Yeah.
you yeah. How did you like promote your crowdfunding? Was it just friends you knew or personal
Yeah, it was just
connections?
friends, family, connections. It was mostly Facebook. And it wasn't that much actually looking back because now I'd have to raise like 10 times as much. It was only 2,000, 500, something around there. So it wasn't too bad to raise. But yeah.
Mhm. Why would the costs be more expensive now?
Because now we're trying to record everything live with a band.
Mhm.
So we need studio time and mixers. And I think the quality of what I want to create is higher now, right? So it's just
Mhm.
everything's more expensive.
Well, I can definitely tell you that album was definitely quality. So I can't wait to see what comes next. And but I wanted to ask, it was one of the things I definitely wanted to hit on. Do you see yourself more as a recording artist or a live performer? Because I know there's a difference between the
Oh yeah.
two.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. So I actually am way stronger live
Mm-hmm,
than as a recording artist. I've had a lot of criticism in my recordings, actually. So I've had to that in LA. So that was like, I feel like the recording artist scene is bigger there. Well, that's not necessarily true, but there's a lot of industry around the recording scene in LA, and I've had to. But live, I feel like is where I'm really I like playing live. Like we do well live. So yeah, so I'm more of a live artist, but I'm learning the craft of the recording also.
why do you think you like live better than the studio?
I mean, it's all about connection. Like the whole point of making music is to
Mm,
connect with people and I love connecting with the audience, and I especially love playing outdoor spaces where you have kids and people walking by and animals,
hmm
and I love that type of environment. So, or playing like a wedding where you got to get people dancing. Like I love the live spaces, and that's what I'm recording music for. Yeah.
And in each setting makes it a more like gives it a different performance, even though it's the same song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, as a comedian, I've noticed the same thing. Well, like I might do the same joke in different locations, but with different audiences, it plays completely different sometimes, depending on
Yeah.
the taste of the audience and my delivery. Um, it's I love talking with musicians because there's a saying, I don't know if you've heard it, but they say that all musicians want to be comedians and all comedians want to be musicians, and that's definitely the case from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's I was into music even before I got into comedy. Like I grew up, you know, playing instruments and singing, and getting connected with you has given me a chance to rediscover that. So thank you so much. Oh, it's the kitty.
Yeah,
The
the
kid.
kitty wants to. Hey, it's open. What are you doing? Okay, I left it open so he wouldn't meow, and now he's meowing at an open door. Um, yeah, no, I think you definitely are musical, and that doesn't go away, right? So
Mhm.
you just got to flex that muscle again, and some musicians I'd say are really funny and should be comedians, and some are not and should. My drummer should be a comedian for sure. He's hilarious. So we just try to give him a mic so he can like share jokes as we play. But he's funny.
Yeah, I say everyone should do it at least once in their life, even if they don't think they're funny, because it's a lot easier once you get on stage and try it out. Um, but yeah, getting back to the difference between studio and live performance. I once heard that if you're in the studio, even if you're an amazing musician, it's always necessary that you have a producer and listen to a producer. Um, and I guess that's because, and I guess I'm not 100% sure why. Like, have you heard that before? Do you agree with that? And can you shed
I
some light
I
potentially?
think I think it's good to have someone who's either a recording engineer, a mixer, producer, someone who works with recorded material. It doesn't have to be a producer though, but
Hmm
someone who has knowledge. It's just a different skill set. So like the distance you sing from a mic is totally different, and the type of mic you use is different, and the type of
hmm
breath work you use is different, so everything's different. So it's just good to have people that do it for a profession to help you. I do believe musicians can gain an ear and do it themselves also, and I do know a lot of self-produced musicians that do quite well. So it's
hmm
just once you have those skills, I think you're good.
Even the breath work is different.
Yeah, the breath work is different because it picks up the breath, your breaths, right? So you don't want to have like really really loud breaths. So if you can take a breath away from the mic, that's good, or you edit them out. But
Hmm.
um, the less you breathe in between phrases, to the better. I mean, you should probably do that live also, but it just really gets picked up when you're in a recording booth.
I see. You don't want the audience to hear you just panting into
Yes.
the
Unless
mic.
that's the vibe. Some songs are.
Hey, maybe. Yeah, maybe is there like a whole subgenre of like artistic panting, like
Yeah, there's a lot like
to a
spicy
melody?
songs. Like I have a song with dancing in it actually. Shakira does. Shakira loves that. So there's stuff out
Oh,
there.
well, there's always exceptions to the rule. So yeah, well, I want to dive a little bit into some of your released music. I started with listening to your song, your single, California, and I really love that because I love California and I love songs about California. I gotta, I always look up, like, I try to make a repertoire of songs with the title California or about California in them, and each one
Oh,
has like a
cool.
different taste. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I don't know, like one of my favorites is, you know, song California by Girlfriends, this band called Girlfriends, which is like a very upbeat song talking about, um, the darker side of California and how it, like, they basically got like burnt a bunch of burned out pop stars. But
Mm,
there's another song, um, called Ohio, which is more like a slower song. I forget the
yeah.
name of the artist, but it's about like leaving Ohio to start a new life in California. And I relate to that a lot because I moved from Massachusetts to California to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
What was the, like, what was the message you were going for? Like, what was the perspective on California you were trying to show with this song?
Well, yeah, this song means a lot to me because I had to move out of California because of the wildfires. So I left for numerous reasons related to the fires. One, my whole business basically burned down because all my students' homes burned down. And then two, I had a lung condition, so I couldn't breathe. So I had to go, and it sucked. And I didn't want to go, and it was a really tough transition. So there's kind of like an aching longingness about it, which I think is those emotions.
Hmm.
But also, I just wanted to kind of uh, express what it means to me. It's a really really beautiful, spiritually important place to me.
Hmm.
And I co-wrote it with my friend who also has a really beautiful relationship to California because she goes there, but she doesn't live there. So she actually started it and thought of me. She started the lyrics and thought of me, and then I brought in the melody. And I didn't change many. I don't think I changed. I might have changed like two words of her lyrics. So most of it is her writing. I just did the melody and the violin for it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the spiritual aspect, and I remember, I forget the exact lyric in there, but it's like, I think it goes, just seeing the environment as therapy.
Yeah,
Something,
yeah, it's
yeah,
better
yeah.
than therapy. To me, it's stronger than therapy. Yeah, the wind and the waves, watching the wind and the waves is stronger than therapy. Yeah, I
So there's
agree
a.
with yeah, it spoke to me. These words spoke to me, so it was cool. Originally the verses actually were in 3/4 time and way longer.
Mhm.
That's how I wrote them, but we wanted it to be more poppy, so we shortened it. So there's a long version that you can play live where it's a little more of a ballad.
Oh, I hope I get to see that sometime.
Yeah, we forgot to play at our last show. I can't believe that. I'm gonna write it down. I can't believe that's so silly. Too many songs. It's like, oh, shoot, that's
It's
a
a good
good
problem
one
to
to
have.
play live. People like it live too, and I totally forgot. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it hit me like, it goes to that thing like it's hard to describe to people who've never been here before because like you're talking about just seeing some of the environment is a healing experience. Like
Yeah.
for me, funnily enough, I didn't go to the beach here, or at least I didn't go swimming in the beach until like maybe 6 months to a year in when I first moved. For
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
the thing that I kept looking at was the mountains and the
Mm,
skyline.
mhm,
Like when I went to Griffith Observatory, when I visited before I decided to move here permanently,
mm.
um, I just remember being flabbergasted by the entire, like not even just city, but county just spread out all of me, and just thinking that this massive massive civilization of people grew out of a desert,
Yeah.
and they're all living together and making stuff that making culture that's heard around the world and inspires people around the world. And
Yeah.
yeah, and also when I moved to Pasadena in San Gabriel Valley, just being surrounded by I believe they're called the San Gabriel Mountains. I've always
Yeah.
called them that. But just seeing that every morning, it's just, I don't know, there's some serenity in it just by looking at it, you know?
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, there's so much to say about the landscape. Like, I recently learned it looks the way it does because of indigenous prescribed burning or cultural burning, which
Hmm.
made it I'm just checking the mountain name. I
I hope
thought,
I'm
yeah,
right.
because I thought it was the Angeles National Forest, you could say too. Yeah, it's so there's a book called Tending the Wild by Kat Anderson, which talks about why the landscape looks like it does, but it does because of thousands of years of people intentionally creating the environment to look the way it does. So it's
Really?
really there's so much sage in the mountains, and yeah, I find the mountains to be the most healing mountains I've ever existed in anywhere, and I think it's because of the intentionality for which they were the vegetation that's there was made through a lot of intentionality and community, and there's people that have lived in these mountains for years, right? So it's like anywhere in the US there's like a rich cultural history, but it's a very healing place.
Well, that's
I'm
it.
like
I
ranting
didn't know that.
along. Yeah.
No, that's incredibly interesting. What was that book title? I'll have to check that out.
Tending the
Tending the
Wild by
Wild.
Kat Anderson. Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Scott Anderson, you said?
Kat, Kat. She's a botanist too. I really like these botanists.
So what we see when we look at the San Gabriel Mountains and the other mountains in LA is thousands of years of people tending basically a giant garden.
In a way, yeah. I mean, so um I need to know more about this too before I can speak to it. I feel like I'm still in the process of just learning about it, but give me like a year or two and I will be able to describe it perfectly. But I feel like a start is just to mention the book, because I don't feel like I'm quite knowledgeable enough to explain exactly how it happens. But yeah.
Well, I will veer the conversation back to your area of expertise, which is
Thank you.
music. Which speaking of which, so you have yeah, there's light at the end of the road. We talked about that at the beginning of the conversation a little bit. Is that was your first studio album? Am I correct?
Yeah, that was my first, I mean, quote unquote studio. So we recorded within my friends' bedrooms, basically, right? With the mic there. Nothing was in a studio actually.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah. So it was the start.
What was I guess, overall arching idea you were trying to portray with the album?
Well, yeah, it was just supposed to be about hope. Every song was about hope in a different way. And I think it was around the Iraq War too, because I talk about terror. I was like, you're not, let's not we have terror. So
Hmm.
it was in a response to the Iraq War.
I see. And it was also a response to the recession you were talking to
Yeah,
about
and my
earlier, right?
own, yeah, my own life, what was happening in my own life.
That's so I love how it was, I mean, the genre listed on Apple Music, it was folk album. Would you consider, was that your intention? Like, do you consider it a folk album?
Yeah, I'd say like cinematic folk at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just it being, you know, a response to the Iraq War, like it made me think of the folk movement during the '60s in response to the Vietnam War. So I just thought that was a cool, similar. You're taking inspiration from, maybe negative effects in the culture, making something beautiful out of it, trying to put a more inspirational message out. And my favorite song on there was Butterflies, and that was the first
Oh,
song you recorded, you were saying?
yeah, it was the first song I wrote. I didn't record it till then though. So it was an older song. It is my oldest song and it still does the best. I feel like live and just in general, people really like it. Because I don't know, I was wise beyond my years when I wrote it. It's because it's about just like letting yourself take your time, letting yourself grow in the time that it takes. And
Hmm.
I don't think I truly understood it at the time when I wrote it, but now I understand it more. And that's what's kind of cool about
Hmm.
songwriters is any age they seem to be super wise, and it's almost like divinely inspired, some of the things they say. So I've noticed that with the kids I teach. I have some kids that are just so good at songwriting, and it's kind of unbelievable.
Just real quick, one more clap, just in case. Okay, should be good. Yeah, so we those on the back end, we just our recording software just crashed, but we're back. Yeah, we were talking about butterflies, we were talking about light at the end of the road, we were talking about you were talking about how you didn't even know at the time what the words really meant for you. I think it was in butterflies at the time, and you understood them more later on. Can you go a little deeper into that? Because I find that what you said about that fascinating. Because like songwriting is something I I I wish I at least in this point in my life is like a completely foreign concept to me. Like I love writing. I journal. I write, essays. I'm really good at that. But for writing a song, it's like a completely different part of thinking my brain that I might not even have or have access to yet. So I love like learning from songwriters what their process is and how do they like what they're trying to say with their music.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, I guess my question is like how could you? What do you mean by the song meaning something more than you realized at the time?
So the lyrics for Butterflies are like, sometimes life don't make sense, mama, don't make sense, papa, yeah, sometimes life uh ain't so pretty, mama, ain't so pretty, honey, yeah. And then it's like life takes some time, but that's all right. That's all right. Don't go chasing butterflies before you're ready to. You got to grow those wings to fly, darling, don't you? So it's about the fact that life takes time and like it takes time to develop into the butterfly that you are, right? And I guess that applies to any age. It doesn't have to be when you're older, but I think I didn't really understand the depth of it till now. like I still feel like I'm becoming the butterfly I want to be, right? Like I'm not fully actualized yet, which I don't know if anyone actually feels that way, but um yeah, that's what it's about.
Do you ever find that happening often where your songs take on a new meaning later on than what maybe you originally intended them to be?
Definitely. I mean, for the ones that are really heartfelt, a lot of songwriting I've done recently has been like for ads. And
We got a new guest.
he's
Who's your roommate right there? What's
this
their
is
name?
Tay. His name's Tay. Oh, he fell off.
Oh, Tay. Is he okay?
I'm the best. Um, yeah, no, a lot of it has been kind of more pointed, like, let's get it, let's go. Like, I'm the top of the world, ad music. So that's why I'm kind of pivoting now in Portland, writing more artist music. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure how I'll feel about any of the songs I'm writing now in 10 years, but I'm sure it'll hit me differently
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. It's like reading. I mean, what I will say about songwriting is it's like a journal entry. It's like writing in your journal, basically.
Mhm.
So I think anyone can do it. It's just like basically writing in a journal or writing to someone in particular, that you wish you could talk to, but you can't. The only way is to write them a song. Um, so anytime you go back through your journal, you feel differently, right? You're like, oh, I wish I knew then what I know now. And one of
Yeah.
my songs is that I wrote recently. It's like, if I knew then what I know now, then I wouldn't have been afraid to love you. So that's a song that we just wrote.
Mhm. Yeah. You go back in those journals. You you said like you wish you knew things back then when you're writing it that you do now.
Yeah.
One thing I've been realizing looking back at my old journals is just seeing the growth and reminding me how things once were. It's kind of like a time capsule for memories. Do you feel like some songs are that way for
Yeah,
you?
definitely. I mean, a lot of my songs in my 20s too are about all these men, right? Like it's horrible thing
Such
or
peace.
yeah,
Men are
and
just horrible.
so now it's like I have a different perspective on everything that I didn't really understand back then.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, I know our time is limited, so and I want to give you a chance to plug what current and future projects you got going on. Anything you're ready to unveil.
Unveil. Okay, so the biggest thing as an artist is this album called Confessions. So it's supposed to be kind of like, yeah, just revealing some of these journal entries as songs and just old songs. We might actually do Butterflies again with a different twist, like how it sounds like live. So the goal is to make it sound exactly what we sound like live because people really like that sound. So I'm trying to capture it, and I haven't been successful yet on that. So we're going to work on that. And we're making new merch, which is really cool. And
I saw
uh,
you had some T-shirts made.
yeah, I made some t-shirts. We want to make some hats and magnets and all, and this old guy said we should make a bottle opener. So we'll have
Mm,
really cool stuff. And then and then I have a company called Fresh Start Music where I'm looking for more students. So I teach drums, guitar, piano, vocals, violin, cello, songwriting actually, and so we're always looking for students and teachers eventually too to expand out. And then I'm working on adult workshops, so we're looking at songwriting workshops, like yoga, live music with yoga, which is fun. And then wine and strings, which is like learning guitar and drinking wine at the same time, which is fun. So
Yeah, I made a specific note about asking you about wine and strings and music and yoga because that sounds like both of those I've never heard of and sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're an idea that I'm trying to implement, and I haven't it hasn't stuck yet, but that's the idea, is like to drink wine and learn basic guitar chords and a song and be able to play a song while you're slightly tipsy, you know? And then yoga is just so incredible, so just like adding some live music to that is the goal.
That makes sense. I was thinking about this recently during our one of our lessons. How how there's a lot of attention to your muscles and with your faith and your face and your stomach and where your breath is going from and how you're breathing, and it made me think like singing is like a form of yoga. You
Oh,
think
that's
about it.
fun. Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
is. It does feel like dance or yoga because, yeah, so much of it has to do with your muscles and how you're moving them. And that's a cool analogy. I like that.
Yeah. With those yoga classes, are you guys in downward dog while doing scales or something like that?
I mean, that's a fun idea. I'd be open to that. I actually definitely think yoga should be included in the voice lesson regime. Like, it'd be fun to have group voice lessons where you do yoga first to loosen up. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my getting. That's one thing I'm trying to I need to work on. I always get tightened up sometimes when I'm hitting higher notes.
Oh, everyone
Uh,
does too. Everyone does. So it's just hard to sing high. It just is.
and the wine and strings. So I don't. Have you tested this? Have you done any of these yet?
I've been trying. I have been struggling. So I moved to Portland because of the fires, right? And I've been struggling finding new avenues to teach. So I haven't found the right places to ask, but that's part of like the entrepreneur work. So there is a bar that I think I should approach about that, that's near us and has live music. So places that tend to have live music are more open, I find, to that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
I wonder what the if there's scientific proof showing like a couple of glasses of vino make it easier to strum. Like maybe that's why I can't hit a open C chord. Maybe I just need to take a couple of shots beforehand, and I'll finally learn how to play Tennessee whiskey. Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah, Tennessee whiskey. It can help. I've found that it's a scale. Like the more you have, the less you can play. Like if you pass a certain threshold, it's actually hurts your performance. But if you have a little, it does help loosen up too. So it depends. But I do think there's other ways to loosen up too. You don't. It doesn't have to be vino.
Could be petting a cat.
Yeah. How do you know? Oh, right here. Oh, he's an attention whore. Okay.
And you talked about bottle openers. Have you thought about like wine cork openers?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, we'll look at that for sure.
That'd be a cool thing. You could while you're doing the wine and guitar class, you could say, "Oh, look at this great bottle opener I'm using."
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Some little marketing. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end. I want to be respectful of your time, but thank you so much for taking the time to be on here. This was a great conversation. If people want to find you, where can they reach out to you?
So, if you want lessons, it's Fresh Start Music with a K, Fresh Start Music. And for the
Mhm.
artist stuff, it's AKB underscore music with a K also. So it's German, Musik. So
Easy.
MUSIK. AKB underscore MUSIK.
Are you German?
I am German. Yeah, a little bit of me is German, and most of me is Greek. I feel
There
like.
you go. Well, musique. Well, we'll definitely check you out. We'll plug your stuff, put your information in the description. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. Well, I hope we can talk more about songwriting because that's
Yeah, we should do
I just love that process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to talk about that more and the tending the wild. I want to finish learning more about it to talk about it because I don't want to be wrong with what I'm saying. It's important to like because I think a lot of times, yeah, when you talk, it has to be accurate, historically accurate, you know. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Alethea. I'll see you guys next time. This has been Off the Mark. Thank y'all. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Off the Mark. Please follow me on all my socials on Instagram, TikTok. The handle for my TikTok is Marc Tyrrell Comedy, all one word, MarcTyrrell Comedy. And I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is my main, that's just Marc.Tyrrell, and the other one is my comedy account, which is same as my TikTok. Be sure to like and subscribe, share with your friends. That stuff helps like you wouldn't believe. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.